Hello and welcome to the Gundam Extreme Evolution community's list of the top 10 things not to do in Maxi Boost On. Number 1. Do not pick a burst that is incompatible with the suit you're playing. In MBON, there are 3 types of burst: fighting, shooting, and extend. Choosing the right one will greatly affect your chances of winning. For the most part, burst choice is up to player preference, but there are bursts that offer a suit minimal benefit. It is very important to identify such cases to maximize your burst and win potential. For example, take Wing Zero here. S-Burst works extremely well with Wing Zero's toolkit, as it has a variety of powerful range shooting options. In this instance, S-Burst is the optimal burst choice. But say if you were to use S-Burst on a machine gun suit like Goof Custom. As with most machine gun suits, these suits can already hold down the shoot button without the help of an S-Burst. So a situation like this can make S-Burst a poor choice since a large chunk of S-Burst benefits are wasted. To avoid this, try to learn what the strengths of each burst are and compare it to the strengths of the suit you pick. Number 2. Do not just walk around. Walking is when you move in any direction while being grounded. Sure, it can look awesome for a suit to walk, drive, or strut around, but walking is essentially useless in this game, barring a select few cases. Walking provides your suit with minimal movement speed and will probably not allow you to avoid incoming enemy attacks. Instead, you should use boost dash or other forms of movement to avoid taking damage and to move around the map freely. Number 3. Avoid mashing sidestep. Another common mistake that newer players may make is mashing sidestep too much, which is not really a safe movement option. While sidestepping does cut guidance of attacks aimed towards you at the beginning of the sidestep animation, this mostly helps you avoid attacks from a distance. But using sidesteps exclusively to move around doesn't move much at all compared to boost dashing, and using it too much in sequence will lead you to quickly use up all your boost and incur an overheat landing. Also, sidestepping won't help you against weapons like funnels, splash damage, or players who are close to you. All in all, just don't sidestep mindlessly. Number 4. Minimize the number of times you incur an overheat landing. As you likely already know, you can use boost during various attacks and movement options. An overheat landing occurs when you land with a fully depleted boost bar. While in overheat, the number of recovery frames for your boost bar to recharge increases significantly from the normal amount. If an opponent is paying attention to you, they'll likely be able to punish you. There are situations where it's fine to have an overheat landing, but a general rule of thumb is to avoid making it a habit. To avoid getting an overheat landing, avoid hard committing, unless absolutely necessary. You should make a plan of action to attack and avoid your opponents while being able to steal landings to maintain a boost advantage. Number 5. Avoid boosting linearly towards or away from opponents. Going straight towards or away from an opponent may be the fastest way to approach or disengage the opponent, but it's also a one-way ticket to getting hit easily if they're paying attention to you. Instead, you should develop some tricky movement to get closer or away from them to avoid attacks being thrown in your general direction. To avoid damage, you want to be perpendicular to the attack being thrown at you for the highest chance of the attack missing. Certain attacks may require you to make use of sidestepping in order to avoid them. Overall, make use of your suit's movement options to approach and disengage your opponents. Number 6. Minimize the number of times you vernier or back turn shot. Vernier refers to any action that halts movement and forces your suit to hover. When you hit your main shot button while off angle, your suit is forcefully vernier, often putting you in an awkward position. This also applies to non-vernier actions done off angle. You want to minimize the opportunities that you do an off angle shot, as it provides your opponent a window to punish you for your bad input. There are certain suits where off-angle shots are acceptable, but as a rule of thumb, you should avoid doing them when possible. To avoid off-angle shots, you can correct your firing angle by holding down boost and rotating your stick or D-pad forwards, which is referred to as a swivel, holding down boost while rotating to a favorable angle, which is referred to as swerving, or using moves that forcefully correct your suit towards an opponent. Number 7. Avoid cornering yourself. Backing yourself into a corner, or cornering yourself, is a very bad situation to be in the EXVS series. Just like in other fighting games, having your back to the wall limits your ability to move freely, thus reducing your options. Being in a situation like this makes your next move more predictable to your opponent, thus allowing them to easily cut off where you want to go and punish you. Try to maximize your time while in control of the center of the map, as that imposes this bad situation upon your opponents. Number 8. Avoid cutting your partner. Cutting is a term we use to describe when you interrupt a player's combo or sequence of actions. You want to cut the combos that opponents deal to your partner, and you want your partner to cut combos dealt to you. But just as you can cut your opponent's combos, you and your partner can cut each other's combos. A common case is when your partner is doing a melee combo on one of your opponents. Ideally, in this situation, you leave your partner to do their business and keep the other opponent occupied. But, if you don't follow that and instead continue to attack the opponent your partner is comboing, you may end up cutting them. This can cause more harm than good because you can accidentally tag and stun your partner, opening them up to be comboed. To avoid this, pay attention to your partner's actions. If they're doing a melee combo or confirming off of any other sequence of actions, avoid tossing in an attack. Number 9. Do not tunnel vision. Focusing on one player is referred to as having tunnel vision, or tunneling for short. Tunneling is a bad thing to do in the EXVS series. Your screen perspective is limited exclusively towards your lock-on target. Thus, you only know half of the information you should know. This makes you an easy target for the other opponent, as they can throw an easy attack at you and or put you in double team situations. Although there are attack indicators at the edge of your screen, they don't provide you enough information about what attack is coming your way. To avoid this, swap targets to check on the other opponent. This can help you get a better read of the battlefield and even improve your chances of winning. Number 10. Do not ignore your partner. EXVS is a team game. Not keeping tabs on your partner is the first step of maintaining a long losing streak in the game. Cooperating with your partner is the most critical component for winning. To do that, pay attention to the various situations that your partner is in. Here are some examples. Is your partner being chased by a 3K? Help pressure that 3K to get it off of them. Is your partner getting double teamed? Pressure your opponents to the point where one of them is forced to target you instead, but do be aware of situations where it is overall better to just let your teammate die. Is your partner getting comboed? Cut that opponent. Watch out for your partner, and hopefully, your partner should watch out for you.